Here's every villain that appeared in Across the Spider-Verse through cameo or reference. I'm kind of slow, but let's get into this. Okay, every single villain appearance in the movie. Starting off with Peter Parker the Lizard from Earth 65, Spider-Gwen's universe. We first initially saw a silhouette of him in the Into the Spider-Verse, but we actually saw him in action as the Lizard now, and it was pretty cool. I loved his design. It kind of reminds me of like a Komodo dragon in the way he was crawling around. Next, we visit to Miles' universe during his montage, where we see a reference to Leapfrog / Frogman, as he's battled many new villains since the first movie. Frogman was last adapted in MCU She-Hulk, Earth 1999. Still love it. Of course, there's also the Spy as the main villain in the movie, but I'm mostly deeping down for all the cameo appearances from villains. When we visit Spider-Man India's universe, we see him battling what could be a variation of the Hobgoblin with his orange clothing and very goblin-esque face. We visit Earth 138 of Hobie Brown's Spider-Punk, where we see him not only slash through a poster of Wilson Fisk Kingpin, but battling his own version of the comic book villain Walrus. Then we go back to the Spider Society Anomaly, where we see this big guy dressed up as a bear screech and roar at Miles. Now, people say new Rockstars say he's interesting Craven, but that's later in the movie. This is actually the villain Grizzly. You could also see, besides the bear head, he's also wearing a bird fur suit. This is actually Grizzly, who was last adapted to Ultimate Spider-Man. And yeah, it's not the interesting Craven, because the interesting Craven appears later in this video. We also see the comic book villain Typeface, who speaks in this old-fashioned way, and he has these bubbles popping out. In the comics, he has no powers, but in the movie, the way he was talking, go to Helvetica, Spider-Man, kind of reminded me of DC's onomatopoeia. I think that's pretty cool. I think it's awesome. We also see Mysterio of Earth 8311, Spider-Ham's universe. It was pretty cool to see Mysterio get some love, you know? But Mysterio's not the only Mysterio we see in the movie. We also see Mysterio, a gender swap Mysterio. Kind of remind me of Francis Barton from Francis Beck from the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon as well. We also see Armadillo earlier in the movie on Earth 1610, with Spider-Man fighting him on the train scene before he rolls up into a ball. We also see Donald Glover reprising his role as Aaron Davis the Prowler from Earth 1999 as one of the anomalies that was captured by Hobie Brown. Speaking of Hobie, we see him and Jessica Drew walk past a boring rhino, and here's the interesting Craven that Layla was talking about. This weird, monster-looking Craven. We also see Video Man from Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. You know, the creature that was created by Electro to trap the characters in a video game aesthetic world. That's all the characters I could find, all the villains I could find in the movie.